from I'm Enough, coming to you with Dr. Mona Ponnen. Would you like to introduce yourself, Mona, and give a little bit of background as to what you do in the community and as a gynecologist and a doctor of women's health?
Thank you. Good morning, Kathy. Yes, as you've mentioned, I'm a gynecologist and I've had the privilege of working within a speciality that gives me contact with women of all ages, and it has been interesting seeing the women in the greater Central and South Auckland area in New Zealand with the vast array of issues that they come to our clinic with, and the manner in which we have to look as a team to see what ways we can help women and their families, because that's often one of the major issues that they will come through with the impact that society is having on them and their general health, their psychological health, as well as the health of the people they are supporting and loving and growing. So for me, my interest within your I'm Enough campaign and the site has come with being a mother myself and seeing the effect that digital media has on my family, and taking that knowledge and taking that the impact and using it in my work to try and help the women who come to the clinic, because very often one stop with your doctor, with your GP, whether it's with your clinical psychologist, any little advice that people who have taken an interest and passion can give you will be of invaluable help and support. I have found that with recent times, I have many teenagers that are visiting the clinic with issues related to their appearance, skin, the manner in which they are using their weight, their general health, their menstrual cycles, all of the things that affect them as they're growing up. And with that comes a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure from media, a lot of pressure from the internet as to what is the correct medication for me, what is the correct skin product, what is the correct food I should be eating, is sugar good, is fat good, what's going to help my mood, I don't sleep anymore, I can't keep awake. So many of the issues we as doctors face are social ones often, and that's where the worry lies.
Absolutely.
Because their access to the internet can give them quite conflicting amount of information, and we need to, as doctors, be able to say you have access to the internet, but you also have access to people who can help you filter out the information, because it'll come like in a colored ball of wool. There's a lot in there for you to process, and there are people who can help you.
So, Mona, if somebody was in a situation where they had a health worry, or they were concerned about anxiety, they were concerned about depression, they were concerned about something that impacted on them or somebody in their family that was dear to them, what would the top tip be for you to give somebody in that circumstance, rather than going to the internet and doing all this research?
I often say to them, great, you have wonderful tools, you've got all of those information sites, let me see what you're looking at myself, and I probably will go and have a read of that tonight. But who's your doctor? Do I know your GP? Oh, that sounds like a lovely person. Why don't you just maybe make a phone call tomorrow, or if you'd like, my receptionist can, and it might be good to touch base while those thoughts, those emotions are fresh with you, and see how we can deal with it and help you to make something positive. So the tip I always leave at the end of a consultation is, let's see how we can help you, let's see who's your contact person, and if you're really worried, this is a phone number that I would like for you to keep close by, because it's often that quiet time where despair sets in and confusion takes over, and that's where we need to know there is somebody that we can reach out to, whether it's through an email, a telephone, a message. And that's the important thing to know, that you're not alone, that you have so much of value, and even if there's a lot of information that's confusing you, there is somebody that can help you, whether it's your doctor, your pastor at a church, your mum,
Absolutely.
wherever it is, there's always help.
And Mona, on that, there is always help, and as you said, reach out to the medical, a family member that you can trust. If you are, and we are both parents, and I know my children have been approached by people who are in the state of despair, where they're at the point where they say, and it could be a threat or it could be reality, you can never actually make a judge on it, where they're saying, I want to take my life. If you are a teen dealing with somebody who is making those statements, what do you believe, in your opinion? And I know you're not a psychologist, so let's put a little bit of a caveat around your answer if you'd prefer that. But what would your one tip be to a person hearing that message from a friend?
I think with recent times and the recent events that we've seen around the world, you need to know, take it seriously. Take it seriously and make sure that you do something to direct that person towards help, irrespective of what your age is. Don't take it lightly. Tell your mom, tell somebody that you trust, and imagine that you might have been the last person that person would have said that to. And if you could have done something to prevent them from becoming deeper and deeper in despair, then that is what our purpose is, to help. And we are here as human beings all to help. So if your gut feel tells you that this doesn't sound right, go with it and tell somebody. Because the anxiety and the mood disorders are becoming deeper and darker and big pressures on our young people. And we need to recognize it is serious and it's getting worse, and you need to know that you need to tell someone.
Absolutely. Mona, thank you once again for joining us on the I'm Enough channel. Your insight again is always invaluable, and I think, to reiterate, if you believe somebody is in need of help, suggest and help them find the person that they can trust to actually get the help that they need. It's Kathy Millett and Dr. Mona Ponnen signing out from I'm Enough. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Kathy.